They are appearing as part of the business that the division stage. This is for the bills to be read a second time, for them to be able to proceed to the next stage, that is consideration at the committee of the whole, or a stage that in case members had amendments or had proposed amendments therein with regards to the bills, then at this point the amendments can be adopted as part of the bill. Amendment bill is a bill that seeks to amend the Tobacco Control Act to regulate electronic nicotine delivery systems, electronic cigarettes, and related products. Right now, that is the Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Jeffa, made his way into the chamber to preside over this afternoon sitting. Broadcast, good afternoon.
Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, tazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba tuwajalie tuyatende na kufikia mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Quorum. Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
The prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House cannot commence its sitting yet, owing to the quorum hitch that is currently facing the House. So currently is a quorum bell that is underway. This is to alert the members who may be within the precincts of Parliament, but yet to get to the chambers to at least hasten their steps and get into the chambers and join their colleagues or the rest who are already inside, for them to be able to raise that much needed quorum for the House to commence or to kick off the business that is lined up for consideration this afternoon. Earlier on, I had indicated that two bills that the members had comprehensively canvassed will this afternoon be considered at the division stage for second reading, for them to be able to proceed into the next stage, that is committee of the whole. The Technopolis bill and the Tobacco Control bill. The Technopolis bill originates from the National Assembly, and it is a bill that seeks to establish the Technopolis Development Authority and also to provide a framework for the development and management of technopolises. Debate on these particular bills were done comprehensively and conclusively on the floor of the House. And this afternoon, the bills will be going into division for them to be read a second time and move into the next stage. A full entry of motions that members will be required to consider this afternoon. The motion regarding the establishment of national teaching and referral hospitals in Honorable Senator Jones Maruma, part of the business that this afternoon the members will be considering to have the Ministry of Health establish national teaching and referral hospitals in Coast, Eastern, Northeastern, Nyanza and Western regions, as well as fully equipping these hospitals with modern medical equipment, medical supplies, as well as personnel. And also make a call to the county governments to allocate more funds to their respective health dockets to adequately facilitate their county level 5 and level 6 hospitals in order to enhance the provision of critical healthcare services to reduce the demand for such services from the national. The quorum has been achieved. Allow me to hand you over.
Clerk, you may call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 49.1 of the Senate Standing Orders, I have received the following message from the Governor of Makueni County on cessation of logging activities in Kivale Forest in Boone Ward, Makueni County. The message dated Monday, 28th July 2025 was received in my office on Tuesday, 29th July 2025. Pursuant to the Standing Order 49.2, I now report the message, noting that implementation of specific national government policies on natural resources and environmental conservation, including forestry, is a function devolved to county governments, and noting that there have been unexplained ongoing logging activities in Kivale Forest, located in Boone Ward, Makueni County, carried out without knowledge of public participation or participation of the local community, the county government, local administration, and the Community Forest Association, CFA, whereas the wanton logging is being carried out despite an existing national moratorium on logging, and the loggers purportedly claim to possess a court order from a Makueni court authorizing the felling of trees allegedly paid for prior to the moratorium. And whereas intervention by the county government of Makueni as a stakeholder on matters of environment have not been considered, concerned that continued logging poses a serious threat to the local ecosystem, including the degradation of critical water catchment areas such as Mulima Dam. Further, concerned that the loggers are relying on a purported approval of the Kenya Forest Service, KFS, concerned that Kivale Forest is one of the largest forest blocks in Mbooni constituency, with trees planted more than 52 years ago, and considering that Kivale Forest is the source of Mulima Dam, serving over 5 wards with clean water for drinking. Now, therefore, pursuant to Standing Order 49.1 of the Senate, I hereby forward this message and request the Senate to urgently intervene and take the necessary steps to halt all ongoing logging activities in Kivale Forest in Boone Ward, Makueni County. I take the liberty to attach the photos. Mr. Speaker, I hereby table message and the photos for your further action. I thank you.
Now, pursuant to Standing Order 49.6C, I refer the said message to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 31st July 2025. Report of the Auditor General on financial statements of Machakos County Climate Change Fund, County Government of Machakos for the year ended 30 June 2024.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53.1. Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the increasing dire conditions faced by elderly women across the country, particularly those who have been abandoned or are living without family support, caregivers, or access to consistent social protection. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the government has a central system or database that comprehensively records and tracks all elderly persons in the country, especially those living in poverty or are at risk of abandonment. 2, how the current social protection programs, such as Inua Jamii and other persons cash transfer program, identifies and enrolls elderly persons, particularly those who are not part of a formal system, who lack documentation and next of kin to assist them. 3, the steps the government is taking to ensure that all elderly people, especially women in rural and marginalized areas, receive benefits under the relevant social protection program. 4, the policy measures in place or being to support elderly persons who have no family, including the possibility of expanding safe homes or community-based elderly care centers. And number 5, further action that can be taken by both the national and county governments to ensure the dignity, well-being, and social inclusion of the elderly, particularly those who are vulnerable and abandoned. Senator Catherine Muma, nominated senator. Thank you.
Senator for Nandi County, Senator Chiranke.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I have 2 statements. I request your indulgence to read them concurrently. Mr. Speaker, the request for statement on the packaging of maize purchased by the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock, and Fisheries on a matter of national concerns regarding the packaging of maize for purchase by National Cereals and Produce Board. Mr. Speaker, sir, the National Cereals and Produce Board, NCPB, purchases maize from farmers packaged in 90 kilos per bag, with pricing set per bag. However, this practice is contrary to provisions of Section 36(3) of the Crops Regulation number 217 of 2019, which states that the maximum weight for the packaging of each single unit of a food crop shall be 50 kilograms. These regulations are subsidiary to the Crops Act, Cap 318 laws of Kenya, and apply to all food crops listed in the same schedule, such as, which includes maize. In contrast, other food crops listed in the same schedule, such as beans, pigeon peas, and cowpeas, are packaged in 50 kilograms bags for purchase by NCPB. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the rationale behind NCPB's continued purchase of maize in 90 kilograms bags, despite the regulation limiting packaging weight to 50 kilos, and whether there are specific challenges or considerations in informing this practice. Mr. Speaker, number 2, the reason for the disparity in packaging sizes between maize and other crops, and whether there are plans to revise the packaging standards for maize to align with the regulations. If such plans exist, what are the timelines for their implementation? So, Speaker, number 3, the impact of the current maize packaging practices on farmers' incomes and the overall sustainability of their farming operations and how these challenges are being addressed. Mr. Speaker, finally, the steps National Cereals and Produce Board is taking to comply with Section 36(3) of the Crops Food Regulations 2019 as per the Crops Act, Cap 318 of the laws of Kenya, and the long-term strategy for resolving challenges relating to maize packaging and ensuring full compliance with agricultural regulations. Mr. Speaker, on to my second statement. Request for statement in the rise in unfair asset recovery amidst rising debt defaults in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on a matter of county and countrywide concern regarding the rise in unfair asset recovery amidst rising debt defaults. So, Speaker, sir, Kenya is experiencing a surge in debt defaults among households and businesses due to rising living costs, high bank interest rates, and declining incomes to our households. This has led to growing reliance on debt collection agencies whose asset recovery methods are often opaque, aggressive, and emotionally distressing to Kenyans. The sector suffers from fragmented regulation, weak oversight, and inconsistent enforcement, resulting in poor ethical standards, lack of transparency, and inadequate consumer protection under Consumer Authority of Kenya, CAK. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the effectiveness of current legal statutes, including the Civil Procedure Act, the Law of Contract Act, the Limitation of Actions Act, and the Auctioneers Act in safeguarding consumers from unfair and unethical debt collection practices. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, sir, existing oversight and accountability mechanisms for debt recovery agents and agencies, and recommendations for strengthening these mechanisms to ensure ethical and professional conduct. Mr. Speaker, sir, number 3, public awareness and consumer education initiatives aim at informing citizens about debt recovery processes, their rights, and the channels available for disputing unlawful or exploitative asset recovery actions. Mr. Speaker, sir, finally, the recommendations for institutional and regulatory reform, including strategies to enhance consumer protection, promote responsible lending and borrowing practices, and foster a more inclusive, transparent, and sustainable credit ecosystem in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for that indulgence.
Senator Peris Tobiko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I arise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1). This is on the case of an infant referred from Loitoktok Sub-County Hospital to Kenyatta National Hospital, but was instead taken to a private facility, Abian Hospital, in Isili, Nairobi. I therefore seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on the matter regarding the infant who, though formerly referred from Loitoktok Sub-County Hospital to Kenyatta National Hospital, was instead taken to a private facility, Abian Hospital in Isili, Nairobi, on the 12th June 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 1-year-old infant in question is in urgent need of specialized care, was referred to Kenyatta National Hospital, a public national referral hospital. However, the ambulance transporting the child was diverted mid-route to Abian Hospital in Isili, which is a private health facility. Disturbingly, the infant's family has since been denied access to the child, and the hospital is now demanding a payment of Kenya shillings 3 million. To date, no clear explanation has been provided regarding the diversion, the breakdown of the medical bill, or the legal basis for denying parental access. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the circumstances under which a referral to Kenyatta National Hospital was altered and the infant taken to a private hospital, including who authorized the diversion and whether due process was followed. Whether there the committee should investigate whether there exists any formal arrangement between public hospitals and Abian Hospital permitting such transfers, and if so, under what conditions. The third, the committee should get a justification, should know what is a justification for denying the parents access to their child. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the measures being taken by the Ministry of Health and relevant authorities to investigate this case, including immediate interventions to prevent similar occurrences in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Lelegwe.
Mr. Speaker, sir, request for a statement on the failure by the county government of Samburu to pay salaries to newly employed early childhood development and education ECD teachers. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the failure by the county government of Samburu to pay salaries to the early childhood development and education teachers who are employed earlier this year. Mr. Speaker, sir, this raises serious concerns about the welfare, dignity, and rights of ECD teachers in Samburu County who play a fundamental role in development of children and success of the competency-based curriculum. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the number and identities of ECD teachers employed by the county government in the 2024-2025 financial year, including details of their respective dates of appointments, stations of deployment, their contractual probation period, as well as the applicable provisions on payment of salaries during probation. 2, the current status of the payment of salaries to the ECD teachers employed in the specified financial year, including the details on whether they have all been assigned the integrated payroll and personal database, IPPD numbers, and if not, include the reasons for the delay and the steps being taken to address the issue. 3, whether there was an adequate budgetary allocation in the 2024-2025 financial year for the remuneration of the ECD teachers, including those employed during the financial year, and if so, obtain information on why the county government has failed to pay the salaries of the ECD teachers who are employed earlier this year, despite receiving its full equitable allocation of revenue raised nationally. 4, the actions being taken to promptly resolve the matter, including details on any disciplinary actions taken against officers responsible for the negligence or systemic inefficiencies that contributed to the situation. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, sir, the measures in place to prevent recurrence of similar delays in the processing of salaries, not only for the ECD teachers, but for all county staff. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, we will will allow Senator for Kisii, Senator Richard Onyonka. Then after that, we'll move to the Committee of the Whole before coming back to the statements. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to read a statement on behalf of Senator Richard Onyonka, the Senator of Kisii. Honorable Speaker, this is request for a statement on the suspension of the healthcare facilities and the disbursement of claims under the Social Health Insurance Authority, SHA. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the suspension of healthcare facilities and the disbursement of claims under the Social Health Insurance Authority, SHA. Mr. Speaker, sir, since the operations of the Social Health Insurance Authority, several level 4 and 5 private hospitals across the country have been suspended. The Ministry of Health attributes the suspensions to fraud involving double billing under the Social Health Insurance Authority, SHA. The July 2025 SHA disbursement schedule reveals glaring disparities in claimed reimbursements, with some facilities receiving tens of millions of shillings, while others got as little as Kenya shillings 2,000. These inconsistencies have led to concerns about favoritism and possible conflicts of interest. Compounding the issue is in the ineffective 104 billion integrated healthcare information technology system, which was meant to enhance data sharing and service delivery. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the specific audit findings or investigations that led to the suspension of the health facilities and whether due process was observed in each case. 2, the criteria used in determining SHA fund disbursements, including an explanation for the significant disparities in the amounts received by different facilities. 3, the current status of the integrated health care information technology system, including any identified irregularities in its procurement and implementation. 4, reforms or policy measures being considered to enhance transparency, accountability, and equity in the operations of the SHA. 5, immediate remedial steps being taken to reinstate facilities wrongly suspended, including measures towards equitable reimbursement protocols. Senator Richard Onyonka, MP, Senator for Kisii County. The second statement read on behalf of Senator Onyonka is a request for a statement on the cost and transparency of the Green Park pedestrian underpass project in Nairobi City County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of national concern regarding the cost and transparency of the Green Park pedestrian underpass project in Nairobi City County. Mr. Speaker, sir, while I acknowledge and commend the government's commitment to enhancing pedestrian safety and modernizing urban infrastructure, the expenditure of Kenya shillings 2 billion on the construction of the pedestrian underpass near the Green Park terminus located beneath Uhuru Highway in Nairobi raises serious concerns about finance prudence, transparency, and value for money. In the statement, the committee should address the following: 1, the full scope, cost breakdown, and procurement procedures related to the Green Park pedestrian underpass project. 2, whether due process was followed in the selection of contractors, project appraisal, and feasibility assessment. And lastly, whether there have been any instances of cost inflation, conflict of interest, or violation of procurement rules. Senator Richard Onyonka, EBS MP, Senator for Kisii County. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Now, honorable senators, allow me to, pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, we will now move to order number 17 to 21. Once we are done, we will resume the normal flow as contained in today's order paper. That is, coming back to the statements. Clerk, kindly call those orders.
Order number 17, Committee of the Whole. The Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024. Order number 18, Committee of the Whole. The Business Law Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2024. Order number 19, Committee of the Whole. The Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2023. Order number 20, Committee of the Whole. The Local Content Bill, Senate Bills number 50 of 2023. Order number 21, Committee of the Whole. The Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bills number 41 of 2023.
Senator Rice.
Who's coming here? You can come. Now, Kavata. So,
Honorable Senators, can we settle down? We are now in the Committee of the Whole for the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024. Yes.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 3 as listed in the order paper.
Where is it? I propose the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 3 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the amendment to Clause 4, to move the amendment to Clause 4 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that Clause 6 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 6 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 6 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 6 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 7 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover. Mover. Senator Okanyuri.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 8 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 8 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 9 and 10.
I propose the question that Clauses 9 and 8 be part of the bill. 9 and 10 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 9 and 10 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that Clause 11 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 10 as listed in the order.
Clause 11.
Clause 11 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 11 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 11 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 12 and 13.
I propose the question that part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 12 and 13 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that Clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 14 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 14 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 14 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that Clause 15 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause 15 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 15 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 15 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that Clause 16 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to Clause
16.
16 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 17.
I propose the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 17 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 18.
I propose the question that clause 18 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 18 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 18 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 19 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 21.
I propose the question that clause 21 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 21 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 22 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 23.
I propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 23 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 23 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 24.
I propose the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 24 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 25.
I propose the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 25 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 26.
I propose the question that clause 26 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 26 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 26 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 27.
I propose the question that clause 27 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 27 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 27 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
A new clause 3A.
Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move new clause 3A to be read for a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 3A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 4A.
Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move new clause 4A to be read a second time.
I propose the question that be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 4A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 19A.
Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move new clause 19A to be read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 19A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 19A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move the amendment to clause 2 as listed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
The title and clause 1.
I propose the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we are now moving to Committee of the Whole for the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2024.
Clauses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
I propose the question that clauses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and 12 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clauses 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24.
I propose the question that clauses 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 be part of the question that clauses 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The title and clause 1.
That the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we're now moving to the Committee of the Whole for the Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2023.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that Clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover?
I beg to move that Clause 2 be amended as indicated in the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The title and Clause 1.
I propose the question that the title and Clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that the title and Clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable Senators, we are now moving to the Committee of the Whole for the Local Content Bill, Senate Bills number 50 of 2023.
Clauses 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I propose the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, and 6 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, and 6 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be part of the bill. Chairperson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Clause 7 be moved as per the order paper, be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 8 and 9.
I propose the question that Clauses 8 and 9 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clauses 8 and 9 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be part of the bill. Chairperson?
Madam Chair, I propose that Clause 10 be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that Clause 11 be part of the bill. Chairperson?
Madam Chair, I propose that Clause 11 be amended as proposed on the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 11 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 11 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that clause 12 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 12 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 13, 14, and 15.
I propose the question that clauses 13, 14, 15 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 13, 14, 15 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that clause 16 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 16 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 19. Clauses 17 and 18.
I propose the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 17 and 18 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 19.
I propose the question that clause 19 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 19 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 19 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 20.
I propose the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 20 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 21.
I propose the question that clause 21 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 21 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 22 be amended as in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 23.
I propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 24.
I propose the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I also propose that clause 24 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 25, 26, and 27.
I propose the question that clauses 25, 26, and 27 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 25, 26, and 27 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 28.
I propose the question that clause 28 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 28 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 28 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 28 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 29.
I propose the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 29 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 30.
I propose the question that clause 30 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 30 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 30 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 31 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36.
I propose the question that clauses 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 37.
I propose the question that clause 37 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 37 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 37 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42.
I propose the question that clauses 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 43.
I propose the question that clause 43 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 43 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 43 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 43 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 44.
I propose the question that clause 44 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 44, is it 44?
Yes.
Be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 44 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 44 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 45.
I propose the question that clause 45 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 45 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 45 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 45 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 46.
I propose the question that clause 46 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 46 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 47.
I propose the question that clause 47 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 47 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 47 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 47 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 48.
I propose the question that clause 48 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I propose that clause 48 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 48 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 48 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 49.
I propose the question that clause 49 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 49 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 50.
I propose the question that clause 50 be part of the bill. Chair.
Amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 50 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 50 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 51.
I propose the question that clause 51 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 51 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 52.
I propose the question that clause 52 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 52 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 52 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 53.
I propose the question that clause 53 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 53 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 53 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 54 and 55.
I propose the question that clauses 54 and 55 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 54 and 55 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 56.
I propose the question that clause 56 be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 56 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 56 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 56 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 57.
I propose the question that clause 57 be part of the bill.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 57 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 57 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 57 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 58.
I propose the question that clause 58 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 58 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
New clause 20A.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 20A be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 20A be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 20A be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 20B.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 2B be now read a second time. 20B.
I propose the question that new clause 20B be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 20B be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 20C.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 20C be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 20C be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 20C be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 59.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 59 be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 59 be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 59 be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 60.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 60 be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 60 be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 60 be now read a second time. Division at the end.
New clause 61.
Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that new clause 61 be now read a second time.
I propose the question that new clause 61 be now read a second time. I put the question that new clause 61 be now read a second time. Division at the end.
The schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of this bill. I put the question that the schedule be part of this bill. Division at the end.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I move that clause 2 be amended as proposed in the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
The title.
I propose the question that the title be part of the bill. Chairperson.
Madam Chair, I move that the title be amended as in the order paper.
I propose the question that the title be amended as proposed. I put the question that the title be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 1 be part. Honorable Senators, we are now moving into Committee of the Whole for the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bills number 41 of 2023.
Clause 3.
I propose the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 3 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 4.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 4 be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 4 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 5.
I propose the question that Clause 5 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I propose that Clause 5 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 5 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 5 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 6.
I propose the question that Clause 6 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 6 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 7.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 7 be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 7 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 8.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 8 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 8 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 8 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 9.
I propose the question that Clause 9 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 9 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 9 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 9 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 10.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 10 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 10 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 11.
I propose the question that Clause 11 be part of the bill. I put the question that Clause 11 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 12.
I propose the question that Clause 12 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to propose that Clause 12 is amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 12 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 12 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 13.
I propose the question that Clause 13 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 13 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 13 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 13 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 14.
I propose the question that Clause 14 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 14 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 14 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 14 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 15.
I propose the question that Clause 15 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 15 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that Clause 15 be amended as proposed. I put the question that Clause 15 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 16.
I propose the question that Clause 16 be part of the bill. Mover.
Madam Chair, I beg to move that Clause 16 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose to move, I propose the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 16 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 17.
I propose the question that clause 17 be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 17 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 18 to 20.
I propose the question that clauses 18, 19, and 20 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 18, 19, and 20 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 21.
I propose the question that clause 21 be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg.
Propose the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 21 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 22.
I propose the question that clause 22 be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 22 be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 22 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 23.
I propose the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 23 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 24.
I propose the question that clause 24 be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 24 be amended as per the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 24 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clauses 25 to 30.
I propose the question that clauses 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 be part of the bill. I put the question that clauses 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
Clause 31.
I propose the question that clause 31 be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg to move that clause 31 be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 31 be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 32.
I propose the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 32 be part of the bill. Division at the end.
The schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Mover?
Madam Chair, I beg to move that the schedule be amended as by the order paper.
I propose the question that the schedule be amended as proposed. I put the question that the schedule be amended as proposed. Division at the end.
Clause 2, the title, and clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. I put the question that clause 2, the title, and clause 1 be part of the bill. Division at the end. Honorable senators, please settle down. We are now going to report progress on the Committee of the Whole on the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024. Mover.
Honorable Chair, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report progress on its consideration of the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we are now going to report progress on the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 51 of 2024. Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Business Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 51 of 2024, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable Senators, we are now going to report progress on the Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2023. Mover.
Honorable Chair, pursuant to Standing Order number 158, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate on its consideration of the Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow.
Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate on the consideration of the Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, we are now going to report progress on the Local Content Bill, Senate Bills number 50 of 2023. Mover.
Honorable Chairperson, pursuant to Standing Order 153, I beg to move that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Local Content Bill, Senate Bills number 50 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow or another day.
Senator Nyamu, can you sit down and stop speaking in loud voices, please? Honorable Senators, I put the question that the Committee of the Whole do report to the Senate its consideration of the Local Content Bill, Senate Bills number 50 of 2023, and seek leave to sit again tomorrow. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have.
To the police station, the officer said, but you look like you're a grown-up. You know, just because the girl is built, is big in body. So, Mr. Speaker, it starts from there. The DPP actually closed the file. In my constituency, closed the file before the case continued. So it is a collective responsibility. Until we jail, until we make sure that people are accountable, Mr. Speaker, this issue will not end. And I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you. It is degenerating into a debate. Haika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Briefly, I want to mention and begin by supporting my sister from Kericho, Women Rep, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this issue needs to be supported entirely. We need to have a support system to support the whole process dealing with matters GBV. Because as most of our women leaders and women reps, we are trying to put up some rescue centers, some safe spaces, houses for such kind of cases, Mr. Speaker, because some of these cases, we lose them in these courts because of lack of evidence, or sometimes, you know, the people who are defiled or any other type of GBV, they are, you know, there are times they are threatened, and because they don't have a safe space where they can be kept or the evidence can be hidden for them to go and So, Mr. Speaker, we need to take this matter very seriously, and maybe when it comes to funding, we need to secure some funds, especially when it comes to building the safe spaces or the rescue centers to be able to support such kind of cases. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Owen.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to support my sister Beatrice Kimei and the other honorable members, the women that have spoken about this matter. Honorable Speaker, when a society, the big issue that society wants to deal with is rape, defilement, and all that, Honorable Speaker, the society is degenerating and not moving forward. As a civilized society, Honorable Speaker, and I want to speak to men in this country, we need to dignify ourselves and take a position that we must protect the ladies and the women and the children in this country, other than going out there to do the things that are unprintable that are done to young women, to small children, and to women. Honorable Speaker, as a country, I think Kenya has moved very fast in terms of industrialization, in terms of development. We have made a big step, but one step we must make is to walk away from issues of rape and issues of defilement as a nation. And that's where we can stand among the League of Nations and say, yes, we are a country that can be respected. Honorable Speaker, and I want to ask the police and the prosecutors and the courts to take this matter seriously and punish offenders severely to make sure that we do not only deter, but we say goodbye to these issues of rape and all that, so that we can put our resources in other things other than these rudimentary things of rape, defilement, and, you know, sex that is not permitted. Honorable Speaker, I support the statement. Thank you.
Yes, Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuweza kutilia pono dadangu alivyozungumza wa Kericho. Mheshimiwa Spika, hizi cases za defilement, za ulawiti wa watoto, wa mama kupigwa zimekuwa nyingi sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Juzi na jana Mombasa County tumeuliwa msichana mdogo anaitwa Mebakari, alifanywa vibaya akaja akabebwa maiti yake akatupwa kando hospitali. Mpaka wa leo hatujapata uhakika wa jambo hili, na yule mwanamke tayari mtoto wa kike ashazikwa Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi ningependa kusema hivi, koti zetu zinatuangusha, hasa hawa maprosecutor wanatuangusha sana, na lazima waweze kutilia maanani kuwa hizi cases za wanyonge wao zitakuja kuwalemea hata mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata mtoto mdogo amefanywa vibaya, mama akienda naye pale anaanza kuulizwa maswali ya kijingajinga, Mheshimiwa Spika, anaweza kumdharaulisha mbele ya watu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mimi nataka nimwambie Chief Justice, kule mashinani cases ni nyingi, watu wanatoka mbali, anaambiwa nenda ukirudi kama kilomita 3 kutoka Mwakirunge kuja kotini, mpaka sasa ule ushahidi, Mheshimiwa Spika, unakuja unapotezwa. Mimi naomba tu atuongezee hawa magistrate wa kufanya hizi cases, aongeze katika haya makoti yetu, na tuwe na safe space kama Mombasa. Mimi niko najenga ile GBV center ambayo nitaweka pale ndani, lakini naomba pia na judge naye atupe wale magistrates ambao watatusaidia hizi cases ziweze kwenda kwa haraka, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hawa utapata tu kule kotini wao wanaangalia mambo ya hongo. Mtu ambaye yuko innocent utapata anasumbuliwa pale kotini, anazungushwa, lakini kama hii unakuja unaambiwa walikuja wakaelewana. Kama juzi jana nimeona kwa mtandao, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna mwanamke ameweka obi 5 ameziweka kwenye mtandao, kila siku ana report, akipigwa na report 5, lakini polisi hawajachukua hatua yoyote, wanangoja yule mwanamke afe, alafu sasa ndio sisi tuanze kutoka. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naomba polisi wetu wakiletewa hizi cases wazichukulie na uzito, kwa sababu maisha ya mtu iko hatarini. Na wanaume katika nchi hii, wanawake wako wengi sana, acheni kudefile watoto wadogo. Hakuna kitu kizuri kwa mtoto mdogo, miaka 2 miezi 8 unapata mwanaume ameenda kufanyia mtoto mambo mabaya. Jamani, wanawake wako wengi, ongea nao vizuri, ukae naye kule kando, fanye mambo yake, lakini kwa mtoto mdogo unaenda kutafuta kitu gani? Mheshimiwa Spika, hii ni aibu. Na mimi nilisema, Mheshimiwa Spika, afadhali sasa tupitishe katika bunge hili, mwanaume yeyote ambaye atapatikana na lawiti mtoto akatwe mkongojo wake. Hivyo tu, Mheshimiwa Spika, asante sana.
I am very sympathetic to that, what you have suggested. Those are not men, they are beasts. Yes, Kisairo.
Thank you, Speaker. I would like to support our colleague member on the issue she has raised. Honorable Speaker, as I was driving here, actually that was the discussion going on in our vernacular radio station, Egesa, on the increased cases of child defilement. I think the Gusii region is also becoming quite rampant in this topic, and would like to talk to the men out there. Actually, I don't think anyone defiling a child should be considered to be a man.
He's a beast.
Because a man knows how to look for a woman. Anything short of that, you are a beast. Honorable Speaker, before I became a Member of Parliament in 2020, in the month of May, I decided for 1 month, month of May 2020, to visit any child who was being born in my constituency. And in the process, I was actually taking statistics. I visited 565 newborns in that month. Sadly, Honorable Speaker, 175 of those children were born by children. To make it the matter worse, Honorable Speaker, none of those 175 were fathered by another child. They were fathered by adults. To make the situation worse, the protection level by our own families is what makes the situation more dire. That once the case is caught, people run to the parents of the child with little coins and shut up the family. Hence, you find some of these cases, the statistics you've had there on the cases in court, how many are not in court? Because they've been silenced and the families have been compromised. We need to urge that parents, when your child has been defiled, there should be no sympathy. There should be no discussions that this is a family member. Let us keep it under wraps. Let us not embarrass the family. Let the person be prosecuted. Let them be jailed. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
You are very right, Gisairo. Members, I once, a few years ago, visited a postnatal clinic in my county. On the queue were about 24 mothers with children. Out of the 24, only one was above 18. And the youngest was 12. A child with a child. I think I agree that this matter must be taken very seriously. And lawyers like Kaluma will tell you, when a person has committed a felony like defilement, there is nothing like a complainant withdrawing the complaint. Carolo Mondi, you know that. Where there's a felony, the complainant is the state, and nobody can withdraw a complaint. And I agree that as a house, you should tighten the punishment to these beasts, including but not limited to what one member, Mama Zamzam, suggested. I think, Tongo, you've heard this. You should probably, the leader of majority, inform the various agencies, the DPP, the DCI, Interior, the Judiciary. You know, it's a tap on the wrist. A person has defiled a child, goes to court, and is given a free bond or a cash bail of 500 shillings. It is not on. I think as a house you should speak in unison and protect families. Yes, Caroli?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. There's just a little element that is bothering me that maybe if I raised, I could get some contributions from the members. When underage children have relationships and the girl gets pregnant and both are underage, it is normally the boy who then gets charged. And the boy is also underage, because that is what the law provides. They are all minors. There's quite a challenge here, I think. Yes, I don't know how we should deal with it, because we are dealing with people who are not adults, but where one bears the brunt of a relationship when a pregnancy arises.
But Caroli, statistics show that those are very nominal cases. Most of these girls are impregnated by very senior, mature people. We have had a school in Bungoma, in Mount Elgon, where out of 47 children in one class, standard 8, more than 40 were. That is not with the fellow students. It is many, I have said it before. If you as a man has a liking for girls in uniform, buy uniform to your wife and admire her every time she wears uniform and leave our children alone. Yes, Mbeyu.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, nasimama kuunga mkono hoja iliyoletwa na dadangu Beatrice Kemei, akiwa ndiye women rep wa pekee ndani ya Kenya aliyechaguliwa bila kupingwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, hoja hii imenigusa Mheshimiwa Spika, nikiwa pale Kilifi. Hii shida ni kubwa zaidi, nafikiri kushinda kote. Kuna visa pale Mheshimiwa Spika, nilipoweka mkutano kuhamasisha dhulma za kijinsia, kuna visa tofauti pale vitokelezea, wa baba wanapigwa, na kwa ule mkutano wangu walijitokelezea wakasema, lakini haya ya mauaji, the femicide part, iko sana pale kwetu na ni visa vya kusikitisha. Tukueleza kisa kimoja cha msichana aliyeitwa Kabeyu, jina karibu na yangu. Alitoka kazi, akanunua mboga, akatekwa nyara na tuk-tuk tu. Wakaenda wakafanya walivyofanya, wakamuua, wakaenda kumtupa karibu na kwao. Visa vya kusikitisha, Mheshimiwa Spika. Wababa, watu wazima, wanaitwa mababa sukari hawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, imefika wakati saizi watoto wadogo wanadhulumika. Watoto miaka
hao si baba sukari, hao ni baba sumu.
Zamani walikuwa wanaitwa baba sukari, sasa ni baba sumu. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, watoto wadogo, kuna itikadi nyingine kutoka kwa jamii fulani ati wakitumia hawa watoto wadogo, wakidhulumu watoto wadogo, wanatoa virusi vya ukimwi, ambao ni uongo. Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna hiyo itikadi, wanatumia vitu ambavyo havistahili. Wamama wengi wanadhulumika, watoto wengi, Na la kusikitisha, Mheshimiwa Spika, kesi hizi hata zikifika kwa police desk zinakuwa compromised. Visa ambavyo vimetoka kwa watu wa jamii, baba, mjomba, kaka mkubwa, wanaona aibu. Familia wanaambiwa waende wazungumze hizo vitu nyumbani, ni watoto wamedhulumika. Imefikia wakati, Mheshimiwa Spika, tuweze kufanya maamuzi ndani ya nyumba hii. Nikikueleza zile visa ambazo zimetokea pale Kilifi North, pale kunaitwa Kiwandani, Mheshimiwa Owen yuko hapa, ni visa vingi, tunaweza kuhesabu moja baada ya nyingine. Ni masikitiko makubwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, imefika kama kuna adhabu ya kotini, hatutaki hizi kesi zizungumzwe nyumbani, zifike kotini na hukumu itolewe. Na hatutaki hukumu mtu atoe 500 atolewe beli sijui bond. Vile vile kuna kifungo cha maisha. Vile vile kuna kifungo cha kuteswa, kuwa hanged. Tunataka hawa wanaohusika, vijana. Visa hivi viko mpaka makanisani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Sina aibu, mimi ni Mkatoliki. Lakini visa hivi viko katika makanisa yetu. Mafadha wanarepu watoto, viko mpaka msikitini. Visa hivi zote, sina aibu kusema hivyo. Tuwatetea hawa watoto wadogo wa mama ambao wanapitia hizi dhulma. Mheshimiwa Spika, imefika bunge hili tuweze kutengeneza policy kwa kisa hiki kipata mtu apelekwe kotini, na hii aliyosema dadangu Zamzam iwekwe hadharani. Mtu afungwe kabisa juu ya mti pale, akatwa zile sehemu zake, watu wengine wafanye hivi, visa vitaacha. Iwe mfano tu, kila koti hukumu ikitolewa wakatiliwe mbali kabisa hivi vifaa wanazitumia ovyo kwa watoto wadogo, na vitaacha. Wengine wakiona, wababa washindwe katika jina la Yesu wanaotumia watoto wadogo. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Let's end there and go to something else. I think message is made. Yes, Tongoyo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I know, Honorable Speaker, this has gone really into a big debate. And of course, as well understood. Honorable Speaker, I think that we should not end this one here. Because looking, Honorable Speaker, into these figures, it is really a cause of concern. Actually, 10 months, put together all these numbers, there are more than 100. And maybe this is just Kericho, it could be replicated in the rest of the counties. Honorable Speaker, as much as I know there is other government intervention and to try to look into the curbing this menace, including the task force, I know there was a one-off, some money, almost 1 billion given to our colleagues to carry sensitization, which I know maybe we need to probably give more so that the sensitization goes on. Maybe, Honorable Speaker, I would suggest that so that we go beyond rhetoric and debates here, if we consider creating maybe a caucus in Parliament made up of women, our colleagues, members of Parliament from women and men, so that we see how we can ventilate and discuss this one more deeper ways and look whether we can look interventions. And of course, even now I know even the training of Ngawa officers to include even the village elders, now that we have a village elders policy, so that, Honorable Speaker, we see how we can really look intervention into this. It is really becoming so much alarming, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Who has a point of order? Kaluma. Yes, Peter.
Honorable Speaker, I tried to catch your attention while Honorable Mbei was speaking. Honorable Speaker, the matter we are discussing is a very serious matter. And we are talking of criminals defiling and engaging in gender-based violence. But Honorable Speaker, Honorable Mbei has made a statement which is taking this thing from criminals, whoever they are, to blaming Catholic priests without evidence. And Honorable Speaker, I wanted to request that that be exited and expunged from the answer. Whether you are a priest or whoever, if you do this, you are not doing it because you are a priest, you are a criminal.
Yes.
It cannot be deflected to the religion in which we are. Yes. And fathers who commit and devote the whole of their lives in service of faith.
Thank you, Kaluma. I agree. Religion has nothing to do with it. We expunge all references to religion. Criminals are criminals regardless of their religion. Yes, Emasa, I had crossed this river.
Honorable Speaker, you know this is a very serious issue. I just wanted to give some, to put an input to the chair that the support that we were given as women for advocacy against GBV is not sufficient. And furthermore, it's only given to women MPs and county women MPs. But what is happening in counties and constituencies where we do not have women as elected leaders? There is no advocacy. There is nobody talking about anti-GBV. So if we are to get more support, let's get enough support so that even our men counterparts, colleagues, get money and help us in advocacy in constituencies and counties where we do not have women MPs.
Thank you. Let's go to the response to Joseph Munyoro. Yes, Konzerai.
Seeking your guidance because yesterday the chairman Interior had promised to give me a preliminary statement
about the disappearance of someone.
The abduction of Karisa Charo Mai.
Yes.
On 16th of July 2024.
Are you ready, Chairman?
Unfortunately, no, Honorable Speaker, I had promised so, but unfortunately the CS, he was out of town yesterday. And I reached out and he says that we give him again
Honorable Samuel Gonzerai.
Yes.
The CS will be answering questions here on Wednesday. So prepare your arsenal for Wednesday.
And again, Mr. Speaker, I think I came to your office because I was seeking also guidance. There was a distress call regarding one who is in Saudi Arabia, Riziki Luvuno, who was actually raised some concern on April 24th and I raised the question in June. To date, the select committee on diaspora has not actually responded to this question.
Aika?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, but that question was not brought to the committee. I have not seen it yet.
You requested a statement?
Yes.
To the diaspora committee?
Yes.
Aika, you check with the table office and respond to that on Tuesday afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Joseph Munyoro, Blue Economy, Kangoko Bowen, are you ready?
Munyoro is in. I don't.
Yes, Bowen?
Oh, yes.
Munyoro is here.
Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on 11th of June 2025, the Honorable Joseph Munyoro requested for a statement about the exclusion of Muranga South Water and Sanitation Company, MUWASCO, from the recent downward tariff review by WASREP, despite having the highest rates in the region. And number two, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member is also seeking the immediate measures being taken by the WASREP to review the MUWASCO water tariffs to ensure fairness and queen in the service provision across the Muranga County. Honorable Speaker, the Water Services Regulatory Board is established under the Water Act 2016 with the principal object to protect the interests and rights of consumers in the provision of water services. WASREP undertakes this through, among others, evaluating and recommending water and sewerage tariffs to all water service providers and providing the imposition of such tariffs in line with the consumer protection standards. And I therefore wish to respond as follows. Mr. Speaker, the WASREP decision to exclude MUWASCO from the May 2025 tariff review cycle stems from a regulatory and operational complexities in line with the legal provisions, which is number one, the jurisdictional dispute. Mr. Speaker, on 24th February 2025, the Muranga Water and Sanitation Company, that is MUWASCO, submitted a formal request to WASREP to expand its services areas to include the parts of MUWASCO's jurisdictions, which is Muranga Town, Nginda, and the Ichakaki wards. MUWASCO formally objected to this variation via letters on 28 February 2025. That is a reference number Muasco/the county .cav/2/47 and Muasco/WASREP/4/24, citing unresolved issues including the human resource realignment, asset liability sharing, consumer connection transitions, and tariff harmonization implication. Section 98(1) of the Water Act 2016 mandates the service area variation require the explicit consent of all the affected licenses. In this regard, the WASREP has not received a Muasco consent and retains the formal memorandum of objection, thus preventing any unilateral alteration of service areas. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, Section 851 of the Water Act 2016 stipulates that water services must only be provided under the license issued by WASREP, emphasizing the importance of a clear jurisdiction boundaries for regulatory oversight. Honorable Speaker, Muasco's current tariff is at 107 per unit, approved by the WASREP in 2023, remains valid until June 30, 2026. This tariff was determined after a rigorous assessment, aligning with WASREP's tariff setting guidelines, which ensures affordability. That is, the tariff should not exceed 5% of household income, and sustainability, which is a full cost recovery to operations, maintenance, and necessary infrastructure investments. Regulatory procedures, as guided by the Water Regulations 2015 and WASREP Tariffs Guideline 2024, permits a comprehensive tariff review only upon a formal tariff review application submitted by the water service provider. 6 months before the expiry of the current tariff license, there being a deadline of 31st December 2025 for Muasco to submit a tariff application review. On question number 2, Honorable Speaker, which is the immediate measures being taken by the WASREP to review the Muasco water tariff to ensure fairness in service provision across Murang'a County. Honorable Speaker, the WASREP is actively facilitating the resolution of the jurisdiction impasse through the following multi-pronged approach measures anchored in law and sector-based practices. To begin with, the WASREP has acted the Murang'a County government to expedite the boundary demarcation process. The process is essential in resolving the jurisdiction overlap between the Muasco and Muasco, and must be undertaken with a full public participation as required by Article 10 of our Constitution and Section 139 of the Water Act 2016, which mandates the stakeholder consultation for significant service and tariff adjustment. Following the conclusion of this demarcation, a multi-sector consultative meeting will be convened to deliberate on the proposed service area variations and the association tariff applications. This forum will bring together the Ministry of Water and Sanitation and Irrigation, the WASREP, the ATI and the Tana Water Works Development Agencies, the county government of Murang'a, both the water service providers, that is Muasco and Muswasco. Honorable Speaker, that those are the affected, and also the affected communities. Honorable Speaker, the WASREP also providing the technical assistance both utilities to support the preparation of their tariff renewal application in full compliance with the WASREP Tariff Guidelines 2024. In interim, Honorable Speaker, the WASREP continues to monitor the Muasco's operations to ensure adherence to the affordability, sustainability principles that underpin the current approved tariff. And it is important to clarify, Honorable Speaker, that the Muasco's exclusion from the recent tariff review process is procedural necessity, not an act of regulatory biasness. The utility existing tariff is at Kenya shillings 107 per cubic meter remains valid and compliant with the Water Act of 2016 and prevailing tariff guidelines. This tariff will remain in force until the review is triggered by a joint application following a jurisdiction clarity. The WhatsApp commits prioritizing this review as soon as these conditions are met. And lastly, Honourable Speaker, for this context, the tariff structures across Kenya are designed to reflect the unique operational realities of each water service provider, including infrastructure investment requirements, service coverage, and the cost recovery needs. Currently, the highest approved tariff for the lifeline consumption, that is block 1 to 6 cubic meters, is Kenya shillings 300 per cubic meter, while the national coverage tariff for 2022-2025 regulatory period standard is at Kenya shillings 115 per cubic. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I submit, signed by Engineer Eric Mureithi Muka, the Cabinet Secretary for Water.
Yeah, let me interrupt the proceedings to welcome visiting schools to the National Assembly. Honorable members, in the public gallery are pupils and students of SDA Cap Keringon Comprehensive School from Mosop constituency, Nandi County. They are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings. Is Honorable Joseph Munyoro satisfied with the response?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm not satisfied. And Honorable Speaker, I'd like to know what happens when a question is not answered. Do I resubmit the statement, or do they invite the water service provider so that we can have a discussion? Because I think they completely misunderstood. One of the reasons I'm saying this is simple. I asked what the basis for Murang'a South Water and Sanitation Company, whose tariffs were not reviewed, as they reviewed all tariffs of all water providers in Murang'a County. The reason, one of the reasons, because I think it's not even a reason, it's an excuse, they are saying that Murang'a Water and Sanitation Company, that one provides water in Kiharu region, apparently submitted a formal request to expand their services to Muswasko's territory, whose request Muswasko refused. And based on that, they refused to review tariffs of Muswasko, who is not the offending party. So, Honorable Speaker, I was not asking the question after the dispute was resolved. I was asking the question with the current status quo, that already Muswasko have a jurisdiction. They provide services to residents of Kegumo constituency, Kadara constituency, and parts of Maragua. Why were their tariffs not reviewed without the issue of the dispute? And Honorable Speaker, if you were to wait for the tariff of the dispute to be refused, what happens if it's never sorted? Do they continue suffering? And why are we punishing innocent people? Because residents are not part of the dispute. The dispute is among companies, water service providers.
I've carried for very long.
Two,
I don't know when you are.
They claim that the tariff was determined after rigorous assessment. And I'm wondering whether other tariffs were not. Or if the fact that it was a rigorous assessment, then it's too much work to do the same so that they can review the tariff. And I really need your guidance here, because the issue of immediate measures being taken for them to review, again, they've just taken the dispute and started their explanation with, to begin with, WASREB has urged the Murang'a County government. I mean, Honorable Chair and Honorable Speaker, sorry, you need to let me have a session with this WASREB, because we just need to know, when you ask measures you are taking, you start with number one, I'm doing this. Number two, or it's not possible. So, Honorable Speaker, I take great exception to this answer that is half-baked. And I know it's not the chair's fault, but it's WASREB trying to take us for granted. They are discriminating against our people, and it's totally unfair. We are residents, and Kegumo constituency is in the middle of Murang'a County. So you have one neighbor paying 60 shillings for their water, and we are paying 107 shillings. And when you ask that question, we are being told of a dispute. I don't think my question has been handled, and I would like your guidance on whether I need to resubmit or whether they need to be called so that we have a session with them. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The departmental committee chair, are you able to seal those information gaps, or we direct a different approach to dealing with the issue?
The Honorable Speaker, I understand what the Honorable Member is saying, but given what the answers by the CS, you know, the CS is only giving that the reason why the tariffs were not reviewed is because of the jurisdiction dispute. Honorable Speaker, I want to assure the Honorable Member and also assure you, Honorable Speaker, that I can as well take up this matter, invite the Cabinet Secretary together with the WARSEC, and to appear before us, and I can invite also the Honorable Member so that we can resolve this issue. Because it is not possible, Honorable Speaker, that, you know, there are some people who are paying over 150 shillings, and others are paying 107. So, Honorable Speaker, I undertake to take it further to get proper answers.
Honorable Munyoro, that would be a good way to deal with it in better detail with the relevant officers present.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'll be waiting to get that.
When do you want to get those members of the executive for a sitting with the committee members and the Honorable Munyoro?
Mr. Speaker, probably after this, we'll walk to clerk's office to write straight to the PS, and let me say in 2 weeks' time, probably, because I may not know the schedule of the PS, but within 2 weeks' time, Mr. Speaker, I should...
so schedule that meeting, invite the relevant members of the executive, and ensure the Honorable Joseph Munyoro is in attendance, so that the matter can be addressed in a more conclusive way.
Thank you, Mr.
Honorable, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm well guided. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, yesterday, the Honorable Kainan, I think through the letter of majority, asked the Speaker that there is a question, and indeed, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Kainan asked a question, or I requested for a statement on 9th of April about water and sewerage in Wajir County.
Do I hear you to be saying
and
you have the response?
No, I tabled the response, Mr. Speaker, because following the guidance of the Speaker that when a member asks for a statement and it is listed in the order paper, and when the member is not in at that time, Honorable Speaker, we table the answers. And I tabled the answer or the response by the Honorable Kainan, Honorable Speaker, and it's on an answer on 29th of May 2025.
Good. Your responsibility is discharged. Honorable members, let me again recognize an institution sitting in the Speaker's Gallery on a visit to the National Assembly. This is Simat Comprehensive School from Kapseret constituency in the Great Uasin Gishu County. On my own behalf and on behalf of the Speaker of the National Assembly and the House, you are welcome to the National Assembly to observe the proceedings. This is where we make laws for the country. This is where we oversight the national government. And this is the house from which all Kenyans are represented. May you continue with your learning sessions. Welcome. I wanted us to go to the next issue. Yes, give Honorable Makali Mulu the mic.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker, for indulging me. I just wanted to share experience on this matter which you have just directed. I was once in that situation where I was not happy with the response from the chair of our committee. And the way you have proposed, Honorable Kagogo, is the way to go. Where you summon the PS and the concerned parastatal or water body, and then you can invite the honorable member to be sorted out. Because I got a very good response after we started our team. So I support that approach.
No, they are both not there. Yeah, the advice is taken. Could you call what I'm seeing as the response to response number 5, the question by the Honorable Charles Onchoke. The Chair, Departmental Committee on Education. Do we have the response to the question which was asked by Honorable Charles Onchoke?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Charles Onchoke had written to our clerk that he was out of the country and he wished his response to be done when he's present. So he requested that we stand it down until when he's available.
Because I don't have information from the clerk, that question under the standing orders will stand dropped because Honorable Charles Onchoke is clearly not in the House. Could we have the response in relation to the question by Joshua Kandie, MP? Is the Honorable Joshua Kandie in the House?
Honorable Speaker.
Also not there.
He's not there, but Honorable Speaker, I just would like to table it because Honorable Kandie was invited to the committee while the response was being given, and he did ask any follow-up questions he may have wanted. So I think it's only appropriate that I can just table it.
Yeah, then table the document. The Honorable Kandie and any other member interested to see what the response is can pick it from the table and see what the response is. What of the question by Honorable Joshua Kandie? Do we have the response? Who is representing the Departmental Committee on Education?
Is the one I've just...
That is the one you have tabled.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was, Joshua Kandie twice. Huh? Yeah, so the response can be picked from the table as directed by Honorable Joshua Kandie. The response number 5 to the question by the Honorable Irene Kasalu, MP. I can see Honorable Irene Kasalu somewhere in the House. Do you have the response by the Departmental Committee on Health?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In response to a request for a statement by Honorable Dr. Irene Kasalu, MP, regarding the unlawful detention of the body of the late Mrs. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku by Kenyatta National Hospital. Mr. Speaker, this is a response from the Minister in reference to the letter by the Clerk of the National Assembly on dated 30th June 2025 addressed to the Cabinet Secretary, and the response as follows. 1. Reasons for the detention of the body of the late Ms. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku by Kenyatta National Hospital from 30th May to date, the 2024 to date. Honorable Chairman and members, the late Ms. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku was admitted to Kenyatta National Hospital private wing referred to here as KPCC on 2nd April 2024, where she subsequently underwent surgery. Upon admission, both the patient and the sister signed the admission questionnaire confirming their understanding of the hospital's credit limit policy, which caps allowable credit at Kenya shillings 200,000. In line with the established KPCC private wing credit policy, the hospital does not offer waivers or extend social work services for patients admitted under this category, that is in the private wing. Clients are informed of these financial obligations at the point of entry and are required to acknowledge by signing the admission documentation their commitment to fully settling the associated charge. During her stay at the private wing, it was observed that Ms. Priscilla Nyokabi Gaku exceeded the agreed limit outlined on the time of admission, despite effort by the hospital to engage the next of kin on settling the bills. The discussion was unsuccessful. As a result, the patient was transferred to the General Hospital for continued care. At the time of transfer, the outstanding bill stood at Kenya shillings 1,155,486, of which Kenya shillings 235,000 was paid, leaving a balance of 920,406. Ms. Gaku remained under medical care in General Hospital for a total of 43 days until her unfortunate passing on 30th May 2024. Following her demise, the next of kin and family did not present themselves to discuss the settlement of the pending bill or to initiate the formal process of release of the body for burial. In accordance with the hospital's policy on unclaimed bodies, the remains were subsequently marked for disposal at the farewell home. As of today, no formal arrangement or legal binding commitment has been made by the next of kin or representation of the deceased regarding settlement of the outstanding hospital charges. Mr. Speaker, in regard to steps being taken to ensure that the family of the deceased is able to collect and bury their loved one without further delay, the Minister answers, the hospital administration confirms that the body will be released to the family and is ready to engage with them on appropriate modalities for this process. In the spirit of compassion, the hospital is prepared to offer a flexible payment plan, allowing the family to settle the outstanding bill in agreed installments after the release. We remain committed to handling this matter with dignity and are available to support the family through the necessary arrangements. In regard to measures being taken to curb the failure to release patients and bodies by Kenyatta National Hospital, the ministry is committed to upholding the dignity, rights, and welfare of patients and bereaved families while balancing the need for sustainable operations. In pursuit of this, the hospital will continue to, 1, engage and assess patients at entry to determine their financial capacity and medical care requirements. This will strengthen financial assessment and early detection of needy cases. 2, establishment of payment plans and financial agreements that allow families to pay installments, reducing the risk of post-treatment detention. 3, promoting universal coverage by implementation of universal health coverage programs, encouraging all patients to enroll in SHA or other health insurance schemes to reduce dependency on direct cash. Mr. Speaker, further to this, we had the contact with the Cabinet Secretary, and he has actually agreed that they'll get the body released to the family. So that is the response.
When did you say the body is being released?
They are actually in the process and are expecting the family members to get in touch with them to get the body released.
Yeah, Honorable Nyikala, I have issues with that response. I hope you also note there are issues. And I wish all members, more so Senior Counsel Tiendia Molo, I see walking out. Senior Counsel Tiendia Molo, Honorable Rosa Buyu, this is a matter which required a bit of your legal, mind. I don't know whether the Speaker will be in his right place to call you back to take your seat. Yeah, please do. Please do, because this concerns the matter as to whether there is security in a dead body, which is something hospitals are doing across. Honorable Irene Kasalu, are you satisfied with this response?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And from the onset, I want to say that I'm not satisfied. The report says that the family has not presented itself. The family has been there numerous times, and they're being taken in circles with endless move from this office to the other office, and it's now 14 months, and this body is yet to be released. I spoke to the spouse of the deceased this afternoon, and he was at the mortuary, at the morgue, and the body is yet to be released. So, Mr. Speaker, I seek that the committee continues to engage the ministry until this body is released. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, at the very heart of this request is whether hospitals where any person dies, body as secure bills. And I requested Honorable Amolo to step back, not just as a senior counsel, but also because I remember a short while back, the High Court made a determination on this matter and directed that you cannot hold a dead body. And so what Honorable Nyikal is telling us is that it can only sustain itself in what I believe against the law. Honorable Amolo, guide us on this matter before you go to those other national issues.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rarely find myself lost for words. But on this, I am a bit lost, especially because I didn't quite follow the context. But to the extent of your briefing, I would say two things. First, that a distinction must be made between private hospitals and public hospitals. There are things private hospitals can do which public hospitals by law ought not to do. And in the event that we are talking of a public hospital, then the question of sustainability in terms of profit making ought not to arise and ought not to be the primary consideration. The second issue, which however is constitutional, is the right and entitlement to emergency medical treatment. Now, that is a constitutional right that accrues and covers both private and public hospitals. I would imagine that the dilemma some hospitals have faced, and I have suffered this myself, even as we speak, 2 of my constituents have been detained after passing on, one in a private hospital and one in a public hospital. For the private hospital, their argument was that they admitted as an emergency, but when the emergency ceased, they could not discharge because of risk of death. And that now that the person passed on, they ought to be paid what they were entitled to, and we are still engaging. And I think that to that extent, many members here are in a similar situation. But as for the public hospitals, I think, and in compliance with the High Court order, the High Court did order that whatever the circumstances, you cannot detain a deceased person's body to await payment of hospital bills. I think the hospitals must devise different ways of securing part of their payment, even from other people, without waiting that their own patient will become security in the event that they are deceased. Because I think that is demeaning to the deceased person, is demeaning to the family, and it becomes an impossibility. Because some of those instances, just yesterday I was being told of a situation of one of my constituents who has accumulated a bill of 9.5 million. And so some of these hospitals also intentionally sustain the patients, even when knowing they are beyond the point of redemption, just knowing that in African tradition, most people will not allow the deceased person to remain there. So it becomes a way of profiteering. I would urge that beyond any specific answer that would be given to this question, it should become an institutional issue that the committee should actually investigate, take into account the High Court decision, and come up with a recommendation that can be adopted by this House. Because we are all suffering and we all get these reports in this context. But I think merely an answer that says, the hospitals must sustain themselves would be insufficient. And I would agree with Honorable Kasalu. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Dr. Wilberforce Oundo.
Honorable Speaker, I wouldn't want to delve into the legal issues because that's your area of forte. But I just want to draw the attention to the hospitals and all over that Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya gives the rights to medical care regardless of the hospital. So at the starting point, no hospital should deny any human being, any person of whichever status in society, the right to medical care. Honorable Speaker, for any given time, it's the expectation of the patient when they walk into the hospital that they will get medical care and live to tell the story. Honorable Speaker, there have been many cases where patients have died because of hospital negligence. You have neglected, the negligence has caused death, and you are the first hospital, you are the first people who are demanding full payment of exorbitant hospital bills. There is a question of morality. Question of morality, Honorable Speaker. And I want to challenge Dr. Nyikal. I know he has become the chair, he's unlike being the director of medical services. He's now the chair of the Committee of Health, where he has to listen to his fellow medics, but then he must also listen to the patients and listen to the families of the patients who suffer the trauma. Honorable Speaker, have you ever walked to a hospital or a mortuary? You are going to pick the body. You are psychologically set to go and bury that body. Then you are told, sorry, you can't pick the body because you must pay. How can a dead body be alien? Mama Lucy Kibaki asked, how can the dead learn lessons? So what lessons are you teaching the dead? We need to style up. I totally agree what Dr. Otieno Amolo has said. Hospitals must devise a way to ensure they have a way of collecting the money. In any case, Honorable Speaker, even if you are making profits, there's some abnormal profits that are excessively abnormal. You have a moral duty to plow back to society. Once you lose once in a while, you will recover another time. Dr. Nyikal, kazi kwako. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Lastly, Honorable Jaldesa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, this is a very sad situation that a body has been detained in a hospital, in a government public hospital, for more than 1 year. It is not acceptable. What I wanted the Chair of Health to tell us is, do we have a legal position, policy position, that says that a sick person who has been discharged from hospital should be released, once discharged, should be released within a certain period of time? That when somebody dies, traditionally, Mr. Speaker, when a body has not been claimed in 2 weeks, there are two options. Either the hospital takes the burden of burying it through the city council, or donate the body to the anatomy laboratory in Chiromo. Keeping the body for 14 months is unacceptable. And we need to know, how long do we want to hold on to the body? How long do we want to hold on to the sick person waiting to be paid? And we need to have a policy position that the Chair of Health from the ministry should guide us, so that the people know. Holding the body just because you want to pay bills. And SHA, Mr. Speaker, SHA pays only a very small proportion of the bills. So what happens to the balance? Because when we were passing the law on SHA, we had said that nobody should be raising funds to pay hospital bill. What is it that now, all of a sudden, SHA cannot pay? And that you only pay a small proportion and the family will cater for the rest. And yet, we know the level, level of index of poverty in this country.
Thank you, Honorable Jaldesa. Lastly, Honorable Karoli Omondi, Honorable Gishimu, and Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, for 1 minute each.
Chair, I must request for a little more time. You ordered me to come back, and I've applied my brain. So please indulge me. You ordered me to come back.
You're already eating into
yes,
your
please.
time.
Honorable Speaker, let me begin by saying that all these questions we are grappling with have already been answered by our Constitution and by the laws of this country. Let me start by saying categorically that there is no property in a dead body. Equally, there is no property in a person. That is why we have rules against servitude, slavery, and the rest. There is no property in a person. Equally, there is no property in a dead body. And if that is the case, a dead body can never be security. So you cannot detain it in settlement of outstanding financial obligations. Secondly, let me also acknowledge that under our laws, death creates certain ways of dealing with liabilities. As a sick person, that I owe the hospital that liability, but once I'm dead, the liability moves to my estate, and the law provides for the rules how to deal with liabilities of a dead person. So you cannot detain my body. You then have to deal with my estate. That is what our law says. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, let me also say that you cannot detain a person after treatment. That is deprivation of their liberty. And liberty is one of the rights that cannot be limited if you look at our Article 24 and 25. Even if you want to limit my freedom of movement, you can only do so by order of the court. In other words, the hospital has to go and say, we are detaining Karoli Omondi, we have treated him, he owes us money. The court has to give them an order, but they cannot stop me from leaving the hospital.
Honorable Karoli Omondi, let me interrupt you.
Yes.
To acknowledge an institution I see in the speaker's gallery, they are actually living. May they hold, let them not leave before they are. Let the students return so that we may recognize them before they leave. Yeah, so in the speaker's gallery, we have students from Tao Kingley School, Nakuru Town Constituency, Nakuru County. On my own behalf and on behalf of the National Assembly, we welcome you to the House to observe proceedings. This is one house of our Parliament of Kenya, where we deal with the matters oversight, representation, and of course legislation. You are in the House at a time we are dealing with the first limb, oversight, in terms of how the executive are serving the Kenyan people. Welcome to the House and observe the proceedings as you engage in your learning tour. You may conclude now, the Honorable Karoli Omondi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. As I've said, under Article 25 of the Constitution, you cannot limit liberty, and you cannot subject somebody to cruel and inhuman treatment and take away their dignity, like detaining a person who has been treated in a hospital. Finally, I think what we now need to deal with as a parliament is to seriously think how we can start regulating medical costs in this country. I think it is time to investigate what is happening in other jurisdictions, because these people charge whatever they want. Nobody looks into it. Nobody checks whether it is fair. Sick people don't have freedom of contract when you are trying to get into a hospital. You are basically at their mercy. And I think as a parliament, we need to come up with a law that regulates cost of medical services. That will also deal with elements of security that can be provided at the time of admission, so that we balance between commercial interest and the fundamental freedoms and the rights to fair treatment when you are sick. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Gishimu, Senior Counsel.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And let me associate myself with the concerns by Honorable Kasalu on this matter. This matter is both a legal and a moral matter. Legal in the sense that the Constitution and even the High Court has already pronounced itself on this matter, that a body can never be a security for a bill, a dead body. all a deceased person cannot to be a security for any bill. And Honorable Speaker, what even concerns most of the bills that are demanded by hospitals are bills for people who have passed on. Why? I investigated a matter for a person in my constituency who passed on. And what some of the hospitals do, they ramp up, they put, or they add bills that were not there because a dead body cannot talk. So you find once as a person passes on, there is a lot of things and a lot of money that is lumped up on the bill so that the relative of this person can pay. So I think this is a matter, I agree with my colleagues, that we need a policy, through the ministry so that we can also legislate and be able to come up with a law. Though the High Court has already pronounced itself, we also have an obligation to come up with a law to prohibit such actions by hospitals and unscrupulous business people. I'll call them unscrupulous because some of the things that they're doing are totally immoral, Honorable Speaker, and I support.
Lastly, Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi for 1 minute.
I've been sitting here for some time. Mr. Speaker, I think it's only fair that the learned friends here in this House could actually come up together and come up with the bill that can be passed to suffocate this problem, because morally it's wrong, and I've been very painful. It's so painful for the family who has lost one of their own, maybe the main breadwinner of the family, and the body cannot be released by the hospital because of maybe paying the bill. It's so painful, and therefore I think for us to have a way forward, the Speaker, let's sit. The learned friends in this House, I'm an economist myself, but I can see you're talking a lot of good laws. Let's sit together and see whether we can come up with some not so, some that can be able to help morally, can help our people out there, because somebody keeping the body for over even 2 months is wrong. And therefore, I suggest that this House come up with some law to be able to cover this area. Because it's very painful, and this House, it's a responsibility for us to come up with laws that can be able to help our people. I support that, but I think if it's a public hospital, it's different. Even if it's private, you actually, somebody mentioned here, there's a clause in the law that says once you get to the hospital, you actually you have a right to be treated by that particular hospital. They cannot throw you out. I therefore support this, but let's come up, and I think Speaker, you're one of the lawyers in this House, come up with something we'll be able to support you on the same. Thank you.
Dr. Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr.
Essentially, what I want to hear is when you are directing this body to be released. Because this matter, as I told you, is a matter the High Court, no lesser than the High Court of Kenya, has ruled on. You cannot detain a body. And Honorable Nyikal, let me tell you why I am a bit passionate about this matter. During the COVID period, my own mother-in-law got infected. And the lady stayed in hospital, some hospital in Mombasa, for just 5 days. Because you remember the regulations required also burial within 7 days. And if you don't, the body were to be disposed by government. And having learned that the son-in-law was a member of parliament, 5 days I was hit with a bill of 2.3 million. And so you're put in a situation where you either pay or we go with the body. Think about the Muslims who have to be buried very quickly, where the court has also ordered that you cannot hold a dead body. Why should we be discussing this thing when another Kenyan who died a year ago is still rotting somewhere? Could you respond in terms of when this body can be released? If you cannot commit now, then tell us when you are calling the relevant agency before you, at the very earliest, to have the body released, not to have stories.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I did actually realize that this is actually an extremely important matter, and there is a lot more behind it than just a simple question of when the body is released. I did take up this matter with the minister, even as late as yesterday, with the PS as early as today, and they have confirmed to me that this body is to be released. Actually, they were talking of today. So if that has not happened, we'll take that matter up, and I agree with the Honorable Kasalu that the committee undertakes to follow this matter up with the Kenyatta National Hospital until the body is released, and I don't think that should go beyond 1 week. If that, by the early next week, Monday, Tuesday, if this has not happened, the committee will take up to call the cabinet secretary to the committee and with the Honorable Kasalu and get this matter resolved. As Mr. Speaker, this to me has raised very many issues, and you know, in my capacity, it's a neat thing I've thought about even before. Our Constitution, Article 43(1), as was actually quoted, says the right to health to everybody. But actually, Article 43(2) go and says the state will provide for those who cannot provide. So in that case, it is obvious that if it is a public hospital, that the matters should actually be taken up more urgently. Honorable Tiende raised the issue of what about the case of a private hospital? I think the Constitution doesn't seem to make a difference.
No, does not make a difference.
Does not make a difference.
Honorable Nyikal, having committed to secure release of the body, I don't think you need to...
I need to raise some issues that have been raised that are actually important for members to look at. The issue then has come, in that case, we have public hospitals that also have private wings. Do they now operate with that or not? So that's another policy issue that we have to look at. Honorable Tiende raised the issue of people staying into hospital when it is clear that death is now inevitable. I know that relates to the issue of people who are in ICU and are being supported, ICU support. What we need to look at in the law also is the definition of death. To a large extent, we are still using the heart stopping as a definition of death, but that is tricky because somebody can stay alive by that definition for many months on a ventilator. But what is now the practice, the doctor in charge is actually obliged to let the relatives know that this person is still alive because of the machine, and if the machine is stopped, then they will not live. And if they sign that they are happy with that, normally the difficulty is then who stops the machine. But what is done is it's left, and if the person now, the heart stops beating, then there is not resuscitated anymore. And the policy, somebody asked what is a policy. I inquired that from the hospital. Their policy is 6 months, and then they will put it they'll put a public notice, and the body will be actually either buried or some other way of dealing with it. As to the law, we need this law urgently, and I remember even Honorable Antonio Lochias actually made a proposal. There's another proposal. We need a law that is guiding on this issue of bodies, and I think it will be more comprehensive than just retaining the bodies. It will go even retaining people after they've been treated and how the bills can be recovered. I think that's something we now need to look at
Thank you, Honorable Nyikal.
Just one more. Mr. Speaker, there is also the issue of the cost of care in the country. That's another place we'll have to look at the bill, looking at cost of care. And cost of care includes drugs, includes equipment, includes the hospital facilities that relate to just boarding. And so this is an area that we actually need to look at. And as a committee, I think we are obliged to actually start the process. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I thank you, Honorable Nyikal. Because of this exceptional matter, if by Tuesday this body would have not been released, Honorable Kasalu, at the right time during the proceedings, rise up so that we can follow through this undertaking made on behalf of the hospital by the chair of the departmental committee, or proffer other actions that the National Assembly, not acting in vain, could proffer. It is urgent. This is a Kenyan body which has been detained, in my view, for far too long. And Honorable Nyikal, the High Court case where this matter was determined is High Court of Kenya at Nairobi, civil suit number 448 of 2015. It was a case by Mary Nyang'any and another suing Karen Hospital Limited and another. So there is no distinction between public or private. The determination here is that no hospital can hold a dead body because there is no lien, no security in a corpse. You must release them as you check for other means. It was a decision by the Honorable Justice Sergon, one of our greatest judges. So there is no need for more policy. This is judge-made law, interpreting the law which already exists. So you stand directed in terms of what to do by Tuesday, if this would have not been done. Next order. Yeah, the leader of majority has papers to lay. Give Honorable Jematia the mic on behalf of the leader of majority.
ML. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the leader of the majority party, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 29th July 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the next week. Honorable Speaker, with regards to business schedule for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to continue with the debate at second reading of the Kenya Roads Amendment Bill 2024 and the Kenya Science Language Senate Bill number 9 of 2023, should they not be concluded today. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, debate will be undertaken on the following motions, should they not be concluded today. Number 1, consideration of public finance management, public officers, medical fund, regulations 2024. Consideration of the 4th report on the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations. Consideration of the report on the examination of financial statement for the National Humanitarian Fund, and consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to inform the House that the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and the National Administration, who was scheduled to appear before the House this week, will now appear on the afternoon of Wednesday, 26 August 2025, to answer the following questions. Number 1, question by private notice number 08 2025 by the member for Molo, Honorable Kuria Kimani, regarding the state of security in the country and steps being taken by the ministry to avert death and destruction of property during demonstration. Number 2, question by private notice number 925 by member for Embakasi West, Honorable Mark Mwenje, regarding the circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Brian Luka Maina. Number 3, question number 63 of 2025 by the member of Rarieda, Honorable Otende Omolo MP, regarding reasons why peaceful demonstrators protesting against the killing of Mr. Albert Ojwang on Tuesday, 17th June 2025, were prevented from exercising their guaranteed to peaceful assembly. Question number 064 2025 by member for Nairobi County, Honorable Esther Passaris, regarding the non-implementation of body-worn cameras for all police officers involved in arrests and interrogations and custodial transfer of suspects. Question number 065 2025 by the member for Suba North, Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabona, regarding details on the number of people who have died in police custody in the last 5 months and reason for their deaths. Number 6, question number 066225 2025 by the member for Seme, Honorable James Nikal, MP, regarding psychological and mental health assessments undertaken by the National Police Service Commission during the recruitment of police officers. Question number 0767 2025 by member of Parliament Kadhiani, Honorable Robert Mbui, CBS, regarding the status of drug and substance abuse in the coastal region and measures put in place by the Ministry to combat drug and substance abuse across the country. And lastly, question number 068 2025 by the member for Mombasa County, Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, regarding circumstances under which Mr. Hassan Wasionga Ismail was denied a national identification card for over 4 years and his subsequent arrest for charges linked to an identification card he had never collected. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the House Business Committee will reconvene on Tuesday, 5th August 2025 to schedule business for the rest of the week. I now wish to lay this statement on the floor or the table of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 16, motion, consideration of the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations 2024.
Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee of the Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations 2024, laid on the table of the House on the Thursday, 24th July 2025, and pursuant to Section 24, Subsection 4 of the Public Finance Management Act, Chapter 412A. This House approves the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations published as legal notice number 195 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, legal notice number 195 of 2024 was published in the Kenya Gazette on the 6th December 2024 and laid on the table of the House on the 27th May 2025. It was made pursuant to Section 24, Subsection 4 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, thus qualifying as a statutory instrument within the meaning of Section 2 of the Statutory Instruments Act. Honorable Speaker, the object and the purpose of this Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulation 2024 to establish the Public Officers Medical Fund to ensure continuity of medical benefits for public officers, and even after they have exhausted the comprehensive range of health services provided by the Social Health Authority, SHA. Honorable Speaker, specifically the fund will be used to finance the provisions of medical scheme for public officers and facilitate any expenses approved by the administrator of the fund, and thus promote the objectives of the fund. Honorable Speaker, let me give a few highlights of these regulations. And part 1 of the regulations contains obviously the preliminaries on interpretations and the objects of the regulations. And basically the objects of these regulations is to provide a framework for the administration and management of the medical scheme for the public officers. Of interest is also the interpretation on under Regulation 2 on public officer, which includes officers appointed by the Public Service Commission, the Office of the Attorney General, or any other public entity, including county governments, commission service, state corporation, or any other public service entity that opts to make payments to the fund for medical benefits of its officers. You'll note, Honorable Speaker, that there are some government entities, agencies, which already have medical schemes for their workers, and if they want also to enjoin in this scheme, that avenue also allows them to do so. Honorable Speaker, Part 2 of these regulations provide for the establishment of the fund and the sources of the fund, and which is mainly that the National Assembly may appropriate these funds, and also contribution made by the ministry responsible for public service and any other employer who has opted to contribute to these funds. Honorable Speaker, under Regulation 5, the purpose of the fund shall be to finance the provisions of medical scheme for public officers and to facilitate expenses approved by the administrator of the fund in order to promote the objective for which the fund is established. Going to Regulation 8, provides for the payment out of the fund, which shall be only to the SHA. Actually, this fund shall be managed by another government agency, so there is no avenue that this money can be used in other way other than and actually managed by the Social Health Authority in respect of medical claims and other expenses incurred pursuant to the purposes of which the fund is established. Honorable Speaker, there is Part 3, which provides for the administration of the fund, and it gives it shows that there is a body that will be administering this fund. And also Part 4, it is the financial provisions which provide for the manner in which the fund will be managed and accounted for in line with the principles of the good finance management. Part 5, Honorable Speaker, is the miscellaneous provisions which indicates that expenses should not exceed 3%. The administrative expenses, that is, should not exceed more than 3%. Actually, should not exceed 3% of the approved budget of each financial year. It also provides for the review of the performance of the fund and also on winding up of the fund. Honorable Speaker, the government of Kenya introduced comprehensive medical insurance scheme for civil servants and disciplined services and their dependents in 2012, known as the Comprehensive Medical Insurance Scheme for Civil Servants and Disciplined Services. The scheme started with the basic coverage of the principal member and 3 dependents, and was later enhanced to cover a principal member and 6 dependents. This package covers outpatient, inpatient, specialized services, dental, optical, and annual medical checkups, among other benefits. So the recent, the establishment of SHA, of course, facilitates all Kenyans receive comprehensive range of quality health services, which include integrated, preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative health services at level 4, 5, and 6 health services. And now this fund comes in now to help the civil servants continue to receive medical benefits as part of their remuneration under the new healthcare framework, which is now to complement what SHA is already offering. And it has already been, it is known that actually SHA is not covering everything. So, Honorable Speaker, under this arrangement, civil servants will first utilize the full range of medical services available through the SHA. And once these benefits are exhausted, now they have an avenue through this fund now to take care of further medical needs or demands, and hence this public officers medical scheme. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Delegated Registration accordingly considered these regulations in accordance with the Constitution, the Statutory Instruments Act, the Public Finance Management Act, under which it is anchored, and the Interpretation and General Provisions Act, Chapter 2 of the Laws of Kenya. And in compliance with Section 16 of the Statutory Instruments Act, the committee also confirmed with the National Treasury and Economic Planning in a meeting held on Wednesday, 16th July 2025, before arriving at its final recommendation. During its scrutiny of the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulation 2024, the committee made the following observations. A, the regulations were published in the Gazette on the 6th December 2024, submitted to the Clerk of the National Assembly on the 20th December 2024, and laid before the House on the 27th May 2025, and all within the statutory period requirements as per the Section 11(1), subsection 1 of the Statutory Instruments Act. B, a multi-agency task force convened during the drafting of the regulations held targeted consultations with stakeholders, and their input were taken into account. In addition, the National Treasury, together with the State Department for Public Service, invited public feedback on the Treasury website, and my government edition on 12 November 2024. Therefore, the regulations making authority undertook extensive public participation, stakeholder consultation in line with Articles 10, 118, 10 and 118 of the Constitution, and Section 5 of the Statutory Instruments Act. Number C, that is on the observation of the committee, that a separate regulatory impact assessment was not required in this case, as the regulations fall within the exemption criteria under Section 9 of the Statutory Instrument Act. Honorable Speaker, having examined the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations 2024, against the Constitution and all the relevant enabling laws, the committee found no inconsistencies or legal deficiencies, and accordingly, pursuant to Section 24, subsection 4 of the Public Finance Management Act, Chapter 412 or A, the committee recommends that this House approves the Public Finance Management Public Officers Medical Fund Regulations 2024, legal notice number 195 of 2024, in its entirety. Honorable Speaker, the committee wishes to express its gratitude to the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the National Assembly for the unwavering support accorded to the committee during the discharge of its oversight mandate. We also recognize the commitment and dedication of the committee members and the technical team for their tireless work in consideration of these regulations. On behalf of the members of the Committee on Delegated Legislation and pursuant to Standing Order 210, it is my honor and duty to table and move adoption of the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on the consideration of the Public Finance Public Officers Medical Fund Regulation 2024, legal notice number 195 of 2024. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I now call upon Honorable Member for Kilgoris, Honorable Julia Sunkuli, to second.
The Honorable Julia Sunkuli.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, in seconding this motion, I just want to make a few observations. I am a member of the Committee of Delegated Legislation that deliberated on these regulations. Now, the regulations, of course, are made under the PFMA Act because it establishes a fund. And this is this fund is for the public servants, all the 140,000 of them in Kenya, who will now have to benefit from this fund. Mr. Speaker, the reason behind it is when SHA came into operation, actually it abolished what we used to call the enhanced schemes. So the ones that used to be with the police, the ones that used to be with other civil servants, and subjected everybody to go to the Social Health Authority. Now, everybody is covered. Every civil servant is covered. However, Mr. Speaker, it has also been seen that in order for civil servants to continue